nothing out of it.
Yeah.
Right.
And
they're making.
Because when they asked me to come up there and speak to them, Blanca sent them, I have a link on my website that's for presentations. So we sent them that. So they know what I do. So they were all excited going, man, yeah, that'd be great if they come up. And so it all worked out. Hey guys, Brian Adams here, the Contractor's Contractor. Got my buddy Dave sitting in with me. Got an interesting day for you today. I'm going to be talking a little shit, especially to the guys in my trade, hardwood flooring. Today's podcast, we're back live. Haven't been live in about 3 or 4 weeks. Been just posting some stuff that we recorded earlier in the year. I like doing it live. You guys can reach out to me, asking questions. But today we're going to be talking about how advanced training, and I'm really talking about the skilled training seminars that some of you guys go to. It's just a huge waste of money. I don't want you guys it kills me. I should have did this years and years ago. I should have did this videos. We are back. Dave, you with me?
I'm with you, brother.
All right, man. Me and Dave just got back from a canoe trip. I guess it was like Friday to Monday, but really the canoeing was all day Saturday, all day Sunday. But it's just, I'm telling you guys, if you haven't, it's one of the bucket list, I believe, and I've done it several times, and each time I do it, I enjoy it just as much as the first time I ever did it. But we dropped these canoes in the Colorado River at the bottom of the Hoover Dam. You're going down this to get to the Hoover, or to get to the bottom of the Hoover Dam. You're taking this road that's the same road that they used in 1930 when they were building the Hoover Dam, and to be down there looking at this wall of concrete, every time I enjoy it. What do you think, Dave?
Oh, it was spectacular. If you've never done it, do it. It's absolutely worth the time, worth the investment. Get down there and you just enjoy yourself. Detach yourself from humanity or from social for a while and get down there and do your thing. It was a great escape. It's fantastic.
Hey, Rock said we're bragging. Hey, Rock, I'm gonna make you go with me one of these years, and we can do some of the easy hikes, and we can do some of the hard hikes. But either way, it's great because there's a lot of these hot saunas, these hot, just natural hot water coming out of the rock, and then people build up these little pools, and it's like just a natural like jacuzzi. You're sitting there, and there's one area where we were diving off these huge rocks, these cliffs, where the hot water coming down through the canyon runs into the cold water of the Colorado. So you could be in this Colorado River, and it's just like you'd be over here freezing, be over here nice and warm, hot, free, just all over. It's just something that you don't really experience. I don't know. What do you think, Dave? It's pretty cool, huh?
Oh, absolutely. And it just get yourself a partner that can be in the canoe that will also be able to match the strokes that you use. Or if you're in the back of the canoe, make sure that you can correct the person in the front of the canoe. Man, I'll tell you, my partner originally, we got in that thing and we literally went in circles. I'm like, dude, what are you doing back there? And anyways, we got going straight when I started paddling backwards, when I could control the entire canoe go backwards. And then we finally got it figured out. A little bit of leadership. I moved to the back, he moved to the front, and a little bit of communication, right? Okay, you're going to go left, I'm going to go right, and switch back and forth, but you just go left. And we figured it out. And we went straight, right? We had to communicate to make that happen.
Teamwork. So, man, there's just been a lot going on. I got a lot going on. I don't know, maybe we'll talk about some, but I want to get into today's podcast, today's subject. And it really hit me. And Rock, stay with me, Rock. Rock, I gave you the link, Rock. You're supposed to be in here with me because some of the advanced training seminars that I'm talking about, Rock has been there. So he knows exactly what I'm talking about. And it dawned on me earlier before we started and went live, me and Dave was talking about. And this kind of relates to a lot of the stuff that David does, because in every industry, there's advanced training techniques that, people want to sell you and bring you into. But I'm really gearing this towards my industry of hardwood flooring, refinishing, installation and stuff, because it's just not necessary. And I tell you why it bothers me so much is because over these last probably 10 years, I've watched so many contractors spend, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 and go to these advanced installation trainings and brag about it and say things. And I'm like, man, what the hell are you going to that for? Because in all honesty, everything you need to know to earn over $1 million a year, you learned the first 3 to 5 years working for a decent company. And I see these guys go to these seminars, they're all they're all hyped up and man, yeah. And a year later, they're on the internet selling all of their equipment and giving up, quitting the business. And I'm like, what the F? And that kind of kills me. You're just taking bad advice from the wrong people. And I'm going to spend some time on that today. I'm a firm believer, you guys know, is feed the bank account, not your ego. And you guys are going to talk about like everything to me is money, money, money. And it is. It's I spoke yesterday to kids, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. I was at the career day, and everyone else was there talking about their career. And I've mentioned that I own several businesses, but I wanted to change their mindset. And I have the video here on Facebook. My wife recorded. We did like 6 sessions, right? Back to back. Like speak for 20 minutes, 5 minutes, question and answer, throw them out. More kids come in, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, questions, answer, throw them out. So we did that like 6 times, but I wanted to change their mindset. And everything that I was telling them, I kind of broke it down. And I think even Rock said, maybe I need to break it down like that for the contractors, because I say the same thing to contractors, but they don't seem to be getting it, is we're trading time for money. And Robert Kiyosaki, said it better than most people in his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, with the 4 quadrants. There's 4 ways to earn money. And I'm not going to go through everything I taught with the kids because I want to stay on this advanced training. But one thing that I did tell them is the last quadrant for earning money is investment. So you can work at McDonald's, $15 an hour, $20 an hour, save, invest, save, invest, save, invest. And you can work at McDonald's your entire life. There's people who have done it and retire millionaires. But I told them the number one investment, and what I'm telling you guys is the number one investment you can make is in yourself. So when I say that and you're saying, well, shit, Brian, you just told me going to these advanced seminars is a huge waste of money. They are, because you don't need them. You've got to get so clear on what the hell it is that you want to do, where you want your business to go, how much money you need to put in your pocket. When I talk about money, the only number I care about is profit. That's all I care about. And with Dave, and Dave is a great guy with the coaching and the leadership programs that he does. He spends more time and money on advanced seminars than I wish he did. I'd want him to spend more time earning profit. And Dave, that's true, right?
It is true. It is true.
And I mean, I'm just and Patrick is here.
I'm a product of the old school where you build from meeting to meeting, right? Yeah. And I probably need to scale that back just a little bit and really just double down on.
It is, because you already know you already know everything you need to know to earn over $1 million. And every one of these flooring contractors that I know, especially Patrick is on here. Where the hell? Let me put Patrick up. Because Patrick's down in Florida, and hopefully I'll see him next month. But that dude does incredible work, and I see him at these seminars, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I want you to go to these seminars. If you want to go to these seminars, go to these fucking seminars. But I'm telling you, 80% of your time and your money should be spent on building your business. Far none. Doing the trade, learning how to work with these hands, that doesn't have shit to do with running the business. And people are like, oh man, it's like people are buying franchises in your trade and hiring you. And they're hiring like 3 of you and 4 of you and 5 of you. And this is what I was telling the kids yesterday. I can only like paint 1 house a week, but I can hire 5 people and paint 5 houses a week. I can hire 10 people and paint 10 houses a week. All I need to learn is the business concepts. So if your vacation is going to these training seminars and learning how to do all these fancy inlays and borders and scraping. And I've done it. I know how to do it. I've done it. I've taught people to do it. If it's wood you walk on, I've done it. For years, we've done wine cellar planks with bow ties and square knots and hand scraped. We've done floors that we've mimicked 1,400-year-old, back the year, not 1900, but the year 1400 castles that were built. And we would mimic those floors and put them in mansions in Bel Air and Brentwood in Hollywood Hills. So I've done it all, but I'm telling you, they're far and very few in between. When I work with contractors, and I don't have anything to sell anyone, these videos I do, they're all on YouTube. You can learn it all for free and just run and make money. And that's what I want you guys to do. I want my legacy to be you guys telling your grandkids, man, it turned around when I seen this weirdo Brian Adams on YouTube. I started listening to that dude and doing what he said. I don't need anything from you. But I'm telling you is 80% of the time and money should be spent on building your business, because that's where it's at. And when I work with contractors, I ask them to look back over the last 3 months, 6 months, look over the last year, look over the last 3 years. Let's look at everything that you did. And even with, not even in the contracting business, I'm telling you, any business, any industry, look back over those last 3 years, last year, last 6 months, last 3 months. What is it that you did that brought in the most amount of profit for the least amount of energy, the least amount of effort? I'm telling you, man, I'm a lazy dude that wants to be rich. I want to do the least amount of work for the most amount of money. Least amount of work, most amount of money. It was funny working with the kids yesterday because I was talking about I get $5,000 for painting a house. It takes me 5 days. That's $1,000 a day. I said, but I can hire David and I'll give David $500 a day. And how much is that? 5 days for $500 a day. And they yell out, David gets $2,500. And I said, well, how much do I get? You get $2,500. And I said, well, what did I do? Nothing. Exactly. That's a good gig, man. I mean, I do some stuff, but nothing. So these advanced trades seminars are fun. I get it, man, because I've been there. I enjoy teaching them. But that's not where I want you to be right now, man. Until you've got your business running on its own, and the vacation that you take, instead of going to the Bahamas, you tell the wife, you're like, hey, baby, I'm going to send you to Hawaii. I'm going to go over here to Colorado and spend 3 days, 4 days with the Roughnecks. And because I just like doing it. It's fun to hang out, baby. And if that's what you're doing, man, have at it. But if you're spending $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 in 3 weeks at a seminar learning how to do your trade, you shouldn't be doing your trade. If you don't know how to do your trade, you shouldn't be doing your trade. You don't need to. You can hire someone who needs to do it. And if you're going and learning how to do the trade, then maybe you're just going to make a good employee. And that's okay if that's what you want. I just told you earlier, rewind this video. You can work at McDonald's your entire life. Work, save, invest. Work, save, invest. And you retire a millionaire. So if you can work at McDonald's and do it, you've damn sure work in construction industry, any trade. You don't have to be the business owner. You just need to work, save, invest. And God bless you if that's what you want. But here's what I'm telling you. If you told anybody, starting with yourself, man, I'm going into business for myself. I'm going to start my own business. If at any time you said that and you went and got your contractor's license, you went and got your insurance, you went and got your business license, you did whatever it takes to be able to got your business card saying that you're in business for yourself. If you've done that at any time, you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your family, and you owe it to people that you can eventually hire as employees to build that business to the best of its ability. Not your ability, to the best of its ability, because your ability is going to grow. Why is it going to grow? because you're going to stop spending time at advanced seminars learning how to do the trade, and you're going to start spending time and money at advanced business seminars. Man, I just hit me up with some questions or what. And Patrick said it's a hobby. I enjoy them. That's my hobby. And if it's a hobby, that's cool. But hobbies that we make money at ain't hobbies. Fuck it. I know, because my hobby is martial arts, and I've had like 3 different karate studios. I've been teaching over 40 years. And when I open up karate studios and charge people, it no longer becomes a hobby. It no longer is fun for me, and I don't do it. That's why now I travel the country and I teach seminars for free on martial arts, because I love teaching martial arts, because I know the difference and the impact that it makes on people's lives. I don't charge for it, because when I charge for it, it's no longer fun for me. If I have to make money at it, I have to do things a lot different. And I hear guys all the time saying, oh man, I love the trade, bro. I love the trade. I just do it because I love it. And I'm like, no, man, you do it because you need the fucking money. If you didn't need the money, you wouldn't be charging anybody. Well, you got to charge. Why? If you're doing it because you love it, don't charge. Just do it. Well, I got to eat. Well, go get a job and do this shit on the side on the weekends because you love it so much. When we're doing it for money, there's things that have to fall into place. There's systems we have to follow, because if not, you no longer love it. You're no longer being able to support your family. You're no longer able to support employees. And that's what it's about. It's not about you. When you say you're in business, it now becomes something much bigger than yourself. You can be the best craftsman in any trade you want to be, and God bless you. I'll hire you. Someone will hire you and give you a job. But when you say you want to do a business, your mindset has to change. It has to change. Dave, are you with me? What do you think? You got anything to add before I go on?
The only thing I'm going to say is that if you want to 10x your business and you don't have the systems and the processes in place because you don't know what those 10x systems and processes are, then yeah, you skip that trade meeting and you go to the how do I 10x my business through processes and systems. You go to that guy, right? You go to the Brian Adamses of the world who can actually lay out line by line how to make that happen. And so that's what I would say, just to agree with you, Brian, is that you spend your money for very specific knowledge that you don't currently know.
That's it. And then like Terry said, is you either own a business or you own a job. And I told the kids yesterday, is like, if because in the quadrant, it's E is for employee, S is for self-employed, B is for business owner, I is for investment. And for the first 5 years of my career, saying I had my own business, I was really self-employed, and it freaking almost killed me. I'm working freaking 80 hours a week, thinking, man, I need to go get a job, because this, and I even told the kids yesterday, I said, I pointed to the E. I said, hey, a lot of times this is better than the S. It's better to be an employee, because you get to clock out at the end of the day. You get to go home. You get to watch Netflix. You don't have to think about shit else. But as a self-employed person, you work 24 hours a day. You're always thinking about the next job, the next problem, putting out the next fire, materials. It's nonstop. You wake up in the middle of the night remembering stuff. And I did that for like 5 years until someone, grabbed me and said, hey, man, what the hell? And taught me the difference between being a self-employed person and a business owner. And I even told the kids, I said, the difference is if you have to be there, it's not a business, it's a job. And you're still in that quadrant of employ it. And you're trading time for money. You have to get and change that mindset. And when guys tell me, even Patrick, man, and me and Patrick's going to have a shot of whiskey in next month when I'm heading down to Florida Keys. But it is just, and you go to these seminars, and it is, man, you're hanging out with other guys, and they're learning the trade, and they're learning all this advanced techniques, and it's a camaraderie and all that shit. But in all reality, this is going to sound like I'm a dick, but you're hanging out with other employees. That's it. You're hanging out with other worker bees. And if that's what you want, God bless you, man. Save, invest. Save, invest. Because times get hard, man. Times get tough. The wife wants something. The kids need something. You need money in this world to survive. Every kid yesterday, I started out, I put out a big wad of cash. And I was saying, what do we call this? And everybody yelled out, money, moolah. You rolling, dude. You rolling. It was fun. I was like, yeah, man, we need money. How important is it? It's important. Why we need it? What do we do with it? It's up there with oxygen, all that stuff. And I was telling them over and over again, it's like, you got to have that money. It's not, not the most important thing, but it's up there with oxygen. I've had a life without money. I've had money. Having money is much better. But I ask them is when someone has a whole lot of money, what do we call that person? And everybody yells out, he's rich. He's a baller. And I said, yeah. So, and I asked the question, how many of you guys, instead of talking about a career, how many of you guys want me to teach you how to become rich? Out of all 6 classes that we did, every kid threw their hand up as quickly as they could. And even at that grade, sixth grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, every one of them knew the importance of being whatever they thought rich was. And I explained that the 6th graders were richer than the 8th graders because the 6th graders on the big scale, on the big screen, have more time left. So they're richer because they have more. And that's the only thing we have is time. That's the most valuable thing we have is time. And I don't want you guys wasting it on a job site. Unless that, and if that's what you want to do, then that you're not wasting it. That's you. God bless you. But it's not running a business. So you're at these trade seminars. You're with other trades guys. You're with other skills guys. You're with other employees. You're with other B workers. You spend 80% of your time and money at advanced business building seminars. You're going to spend 2 days, 3 days, 5 days with business-minded people. It's a total different fucking conversation by far. And I tell you right now, a lot of you guys don't want to go to those seminars because you're going to feel bad about yourself. And that's the truth.
Hey, Brian, here's a question for you. Like, how many people, Dan Kennedy talks about doing the math about how much is your time actually worth?
Yes.
And just really dividing that out and determine exactly how much does every single minute in your life, how much is that minute worth based on how much money you want to make in your business, right? So you get your number. Here's the number I expect to make. You do the math, and this is exactly how much your time is worth by the minute. So every minute you're watching TV, every minute you're scrolling, every minute you're doing something stupid, you're burning cash. So if you've got that number and you know that number and you keep it in front of you, then you know you have no time to waste.
No, and look, man, Rock said the same thing before you even mentioned it. He said, I'm on the third quarter of life and I ain't got no more time for this bullshit. And it's true, man. All we have, the greatest gift God ever gave us was time here on earth. And most of us are wasting it. And most of us don't even have a vision or a goal of where we want our company to be. And these kids came in with questions of, and they're good questions. I told the principal, whoever put this thing together, good for you guys, the questions. But one of the questions was, how did you choose your career? And I told them, I said, hey man, I didn't choose my career. My career chose me. And they were like, oh, I said, and everyone you go and speak to and hear today, 97% of those people and 97% of all the people you ever meet, they didn't choose their career. Their career chose them. Some moms and dads make their kids become doctors or lawyers and that kind of stuff. I love Gary Vee for telling people like, hey man, cut that shit out and go do what you want to do because life is too short. Don't be chasing someone else's dream. But most of us go to school. I didn't even go to school. I didn't even get through the 10th grade. I just needed a job. But most people at least finish high school. Some of them go into a university or even a community college and they're taking general ed, or they go into college thinking they want to do something. But by the end of it, they've changed their mind 2 or 3 times. And even when they get out with a degree, most of them don't even go into that industry. So it's like they get out and they gotta pay rent, they gotta buy a car, they gotta get gas, they need a fucking job. They get out of school, they gotta have a job. So most of the time they just end up getting a job somewhere, and then that job leads to something else, and then they get trapped behind the 8 ball because they need money. So another job presents itself and will offer more money. Money is the key. I'm sorry. Money is the key. You've got to make more money in less amount of time. And I've been behind the 8 ball. It is not fun, man. You take jobs you do not want. You lower your prices on jobs that you shouldn't lower your prices on. And then you get halfway through the job and you're telling yourself, F this, I shouldn't be here anyway. I didn't charge them enough, blah, blah, blah. You start cutting corners. Now at the end of the job, they don't even want to give you the shit amount of money that they should be giving you because you cut corners and they're pissed off, you're pissed off. It's a cycle, and I've been through it. I'm telling you, I don't teach anything I haven't went through. I've been there. I've lived it. I'm trying to save you guys so you don't have to do it. This whole thing is about I want you to spend more time, more money on business building seminars, because you say you're a contractor, you say you're in business, you need to build the business. Your whole mindset has to change. You no longer are an employee. You've got to hire someone to do what you do right now. And as a business owner, your number one job is to replace yourself. Whatever the hell that you're doing, replace it. You hire someone to do what you're doing, you start doing something else, you hire someone to do that. And you're answering the phones, you hire someone to do that. You're going out, you're giving consultations, $150 a consultation, $75 a consultation. If you're doing them free, you're doing them free, but you got to hire someone to go out and do that, and hire someone and train them to do it better than you do it. All of this is, everything has to be written down and tracked, all of it. And I've got the videos explaining all of it. So there's no fucking excuse. You don't even have to pay me. You just need to spend your time, and that's the most valuable thing you have, and treat and earn yourself so that you can get out of this cycle of that wheel with the rat running on it or whatever the hell it is. And it ain't easy. It's not easy, man. I'm not saying it's easy, but my friend and mentor Jim Rohn said one time after doing a big all-day presentation about self-development and personal improvement. And he says, the guy asked me, he says, hey, Jim, you talk all the good game. You talk all this stuff. How you doing with all this stuff that you teach? He says, whoa. You got to listen to me real close, but don't watch it. Don't look at me too careful. He's like, I'm dealing with it just like you're dealing with it. It ain't easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. You don't want it to be easy. And that was one of the other questions that the kids asked was, how hard is it to do your profession? And I said, mine, anybody that you talk to today, it's going to be on a scale from 1 to 10. It's going to be an 8 across the board. It's going to be an 8. Anything in life worth having is going to be hard. I said, and I even told the kids, I said, you want it hard. I said, you want it hard because most people are going to quit and give up. And the closer you get to the top, there's least and less people, the least amount of people, the more you get to charge. And the more you get to charge is what? More money. Remember in Living Color, where's Rock? You remember in Living Color Rock? More money, more money, more money. But so you want it hard, and it is hard. It's what do you think, Dave? Anything
in life worth having is hard. If you want a brilliant relationship, it's hard. Why? Because it requires work. If you want a great relationship with your kids, it requires work. A relationship with your wife, your spouse, it requires freaking work. But it also requires to decide that that's exactly what you want. Like a lot of times, maybe you want this amazing business, but you look at the amount of work that it's going to take to grow it, and you're like, screw that, I ain't doing that shit. Okay, well, then go get a job, settle for something less. But at least decide exactly what it is you want so you know what you're going after. Having that clarity is everything. And putting that on your vision board so that you see it every morning and you visualize yourself doing the thing and then flat get to work, that stuff works, right? That's the difficult stuff that people just don't want to do. They don't want to turn off the Netflix. They don't want to turn off the TV. They don't want to turn those things off and work on the 6 inches between their head here, which it makes all the difference in the world, right? Because if we can get really clear on what we want, shit, somebody's done what we want to do already. Now all we have to do is follow their process and we'll get exactly what they have. But we've got to make a decision.
And it is. And I'm like, and that's why I keep trying to do as many videos and training videos and stuff as I can. It's like Rock said, I'm on the third quarter of life. And for me to take this knowledge and stuff that the only way I can leave it behind with me is in books and in videos and stuff. And it's there for free. Just take it and use it and watch the videos. And the only time like our company, Dominate Your Trade, Kick Your Competition's ass, the only time we charge is when we have to personally do it for someone. And it's like, I want you to learn how to do it for yourself. You may not be in the position at the time and you can get a head start by hiring, someone to do it for you, but you got to do, your due diligence. You got to do your homework. You want to hire the right people. And unfortunately, in today's world, the internet, there's too many people being taken advantage of and too many contractors, too many other business owners in other industries aren't doing their homework and researching these people before they give them money. There's a lot of, like I see some of these ads on Facebook and YouTube. It's, these marketing guys going, oh man, blah, 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 we can turn it on and I can get you 150 leads next week. And I'm like, where? You're full of shit. It's like, I've been stuck in California for a long time because we do work from anywhere from San Diego to the other side of LA, like Malibu, past San. I mean, and I've got, I don't know, what is it, 2 or 3 million people to choose from? That's a lot of people that can hire our services. I can keep a lot of people busy like that. But if I'm in a town that's 100,000, got a guy, buddy of mine in San Angelo, Texas, I think the population is like 98,000 or something. So it's not a lot of homeowners to choose from. So to tell someone, oh man, I get you 150 leads every week. It's like, no, man, homeowners either want work done on their home or they don't. And you got to be there at the right, there's a lot that goes into it. That's why you got to be in front of them way in advance and you got to be in front of them at the right time. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. And that's why I've got these videos that I teach guys so you don't get, taken advantage of. And I get calls at least once to twice a month where dudes are given people, you know, $2,000, $5,000, and they're getting promised the world and they didn't get anything in return. And that was their last $5,000. Honestly, I'm like, one, you shouldn't be that broke. I don't know what the hell you're doing, but you shouldn't be that broke. But you are. I've been there. Okay. And you just gave all your pennies away to someone else. I've got a video testimonial where the guy is almost crying because I saved his life, his business, his everything. And you know, he was one of those phone calls, and I'm like, my God, man. But you got to do your due diligence. You got to do your homework. And you're getting fed a bunch of bullshit, and you're buying into it. But if you spend the time and the money on business seminars, that's a huge, huge world. It's never ending. The trade that you do, whether it's cutting hair, teaching dancing, teaching karate, that's minute, man. Hardwood flooring, painting, roofing, that's real small. But the art of running a business and mastering your business, how to communicate, how to lead like Dave teaches, how to hire, how to interview, how to hire, how to run the ad to get the right people to call you up, how to answer the phone, how to get the phone to ring, how to handle problems and homeowners, and how to deal with homeowners so the problems don't come up. When you've got different employees, you got 6 employees, 12 employees, 20 employees, different personalities working together. You've got to manage them so they're not, you know, dealing with it. It's huge, and you got to be at all of these places, learning every aspect of it. Websites and SEOs and YouTube and Instagram and and hiring the right people to do those areas for you. Remember, as a business owner, your number one job is to replace yourself quickly. Boy, years ago, we were hand scraping, hand distressing hardwood flooring for a company called Yonkers. Look it up, starts with a J. And a guy hired me, called me up, said, and we've been friends for a lot of years. He said, man, no one knows how to do this better than you. Will you come over here and help me start this company? I was like, yeah, let's do it. We had like 100 guys working for us in this so-called man-made factory. And about 50 of them was from the other side of the border, Mexico. The other 50 were Mexicans, but they were Chicanos. They'd been born here. And man, they didn't get along. And I'm a white dude with blue eyes. Back then I had blonde hair, and I was in the middle of 100 Mexicans, keeping them at bay. It was crazy, but you had to learn how to deal with that stuff, man. And my buddy Kerry that was starting this company, he's like, man, I'm glad you're doing it and not me. And when the World Championship of Soccer came around, I just let it go. You couldn't stop anything then. They took it serious. It was way more serious than the NFL football that we do. But you've got to build the business. If you're telling yourself you're in business, you're telling yourself you want to start your own business, run your own business, any of that stuff, your mind, you got to eat, sleep, and drink business. That's it. Doing the work is not the business. You can hire someone to do that. And you can train them your system. Yes, you're the best. I know you're the best painter. You're the best roofer. You're the best floor guy. I know, we get it. And that's why you went into business for yourself, because the guy you was working for didn't know shit. I know, I get it. I've been there. I've been there. So we get that, but you're going to have to train people to do it your way. So that, and if you can't train them, like Albert Einstein said, if you can't teach someone or explain something to a 6-year-old, it's because you don't understand it yourself. You got to be able to explain it and break it down so that they understand it. So you got to hire people to teach them your system. Send me. I tell people all the time, I say, well, email me your system. What? I said, yeah, man, you've got it typed up. You've got it written down. Just snap a picture of it and send it to me. No, it's up here. I say, if it's up here and it's not on paper, it's not real. You're just making this shit up. It's got to all be written down. Everything has to be written down. It's very rare that you're going to find me without this journal. If it's not written down, it's not real. All right, guys, we are coming to the end. Big JB, sell me this pen. Sell me this pen. Man, anything before we get out of here, Dave? Anything? You guys are here. You got me live. You can ask, no matter when you're watching this, reach out to me. You got questions, I will answer them. But I wanted to do this because I honestly, and Rock can attest to this because he knows some of the same people that I know, but they've been to these advanced trainings and less than a year later, they're selling everything that they have and going to get a job. And that breaks, and it's because they've spent their time and their money in the wrong area. And that breaks my heart, man. It's
Brian,
my dream for everybody watching this is that you have a better life than I've had, and I've had an extraordinary life, and it's not over yet. Dave, go ahead.
the only thing I was going to say is, again, the whole reason why we want to replace ourselves as quickly as possible so that you have that harmony with the rest of your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got the hobby that you want to be involved in. You've got your kids' sports, athletics you want to be involved in. You've got your wife that you've got to make sure you're taking care of her and spending time together. So if we want to have I won't say balance, because you're never going to have a balance of hours if you're going after something, but you can have a harmony. You can absolutely have harmony in your life by making sure that we hire the right people to do a lot of the stuff that you have no business doing.
Yeah, it is like last weekend we were canoeing and hiking. Next week I'm jumping on my Indian, going up to Pismo Beach. Google that. It's beautiful up there. I'm spending a couple of days with some buddies that are up there, coming back. I got this beard. I'm in a musical play with my daughter. I think me and Dave talked about it. I've never done that ever. This is my first thing, and I'm doing it for her. I'm singing and dancing on stage. So get that, and there'll probably be video floating around. If it wasn't for that, I'd be on my way to the East Coast. We just bought a couple of townhomes. I'm going to remodel those, but I'm taking my motorcycle with me. I'm going to cruise down to the Florida Keys. I'm all, it's like like 2 weeks ago, I was up in the mountains of New Mexico. Life is whatever you want to make it. The sooner, I don't know if you see that movie When Harry Met Sally. At the end of it, he realizes he wants to be with Sally, and it's like New Year's Eve, and he's running down New York Street, and he's out of breath, and he's telling her, it's like, when you realize you want to be with someone for the rest of your life, you realize and you understand that you want the rest of your life to begin as soon as whatever it is, right? So life can be whatever it is that you want it to be, and when you decide and when you understand what you want it to be, you want it to start as quickly as soon as possible. But you just can't like let the wind blow you like that hurricane that just went through Florida and then hit South Carolina. You're just waking up every day wondering where the wind is going to blow you. My buddy Jim Rohn does a whole seminar on, set a better sail. It's like life is like setting the sail of a sailboat, and let it's like you got to traverse back and forth and get there, but you've got to have that destination. And why are you starting a business anyway? For me, it was the money and the freedom. And that's what I knew when I worked for 5 years and working, 80, 90 hours a week and lying to myself and saying, man, I'm making all these sacrifices for my loved ones. When in reality, it was my loved ones that were being sacrificed. They didn't see. And finally, I asked myself, I was like, man, I started my own business because I wanted more money, and I wanted more money so I could spend more time with my family and do things. And there is no more time. There is no more time. You working 90 hours a week. There is no more time. And I told you, when you're in that quadrant of self-employed, it's 24 hours a day. You're always answering the phone. Even back then, we had the pagers and the beepers. And before that, you had to get back to the office and listen to and rewind the cassette tape and call people. But you didn't have time off. And that's when I said, man, if this is what it is, I'm going to go get a job. And thank God I worked for a man who owned several businesses and showed me the light. And more so than that, it was at the right time. A lot of you guys right now are watching this video, and it ain't the right time for you. It'll be you got 2 or 3 more years of suffering, and you'll go, fuck, man, who was that dude? What was that one? And Google TheContractorsContractor. The videos will still be here, and you can come back to it. There's the old saying of the Shaolin monks and stuff. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Everyone's heard that. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. The teacher is always there. It's you that wasn't ready. And like I said, and so thank God I was at the right place at the right time with the right mindset, was fed up enough, sick and tired of being sick and tired to where give me a job, man. Let me clock out and go home and be done with it. And this guy, I was right place, right time, right teacher, and set me, like Jim Rohn says, I set a different sail. I set a different sail. I got it. This time I got it. And it changed my mindset. And I realized that no matter how great I thought I was with these hands, that wasn't the business. And that was my mindset. With that, we're going to call it a day. You guys got any questions? Hit me up. Let's see. Get out of here before we, should I been that guy wanting to sell it all because of money? Yeah, he's been there. Rock's been there. He knows guys. He's seen them do it. That's a lot of gray on that face. Yeah, it is, man. Hey, I've been telling everybody, I even told Dave, I said, this is really dark brown. I dye it and bleach it gray to make my wife feel better about herself. And I even said that yesterday, and when the kids said, "Really?" I was like, "No, man." So, hey, man, good stuff, brother Terry. Man, I'm gonna be in South Carolina. I want to shoot over there and on the way down to Florida and get some of that barbecue that you always posted on Facebook. Man, I appreciate you being here, brother. Dave, any last word before we get out of here?
No, sir. Thank you. On fire.
Yeah,
we just need to take more action towards exactly what you're talking about. So
that's it, man. Stop watching this video. Stop watching this video. Start writing it all down. You can start right there. Grab a pen and a paper. Start writing down where you want your business to be and why you want your business to be there and what you're going to do with all the money you spend. This is Brian Adams, the Contractor's Contractor. You like this video? Share it. Hit the button down below. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so that you're notified when we do this again. Hopefully, we will do it again next week. If I'm not up in Pismo Beach, damn, man. Hey, God loves you. I love you. Keep a smile on your face. We are out of here.